In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 mindset shifts that will almost instantly make you better at enrolling high-ticket health coaching clients. Welcome back, guys. Uriel Kim here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We help world-class health professionals build scalable coaching businesses without the guesswork and without the grind. And if you're enrolling clients, then you're obviously speaking to them, right? And if you're like most health professionals that we work with, you're probably not too keen on sales. You're a health professional, not a sales professional. Maybe you don't feel as confident. Maybe you think it's icky and slimy and I don't want to do that. So I want to share with you 3 reframes here, because if you don't get good at this, then you can't grow your business. So the first thing that we have to understand is that you're serving, not necessarily selling. Selling is serving. It's the same thing in my mind, because the transformation only happens at the transaction. If someone does not pay you money, they do not do anything. And the reason for that is because when we pay attention. I'll give you a great example of this. So we have a number of clients who obviously pay us money, and they still watch all of these YouTube videos, which are free. But the difference with them is that they actually do the work that I prescribe in a lot of these videos, and they report back inside the coaching program to say, hey, I took your advice from these free videos and I actually did something with them. And it's very interesting because the videos are not protected behind a paywall. Like these videos, these YouTube videos are on YouTube. But the difference is that our clients who are already paying us money are not only going through the curriculum and our coaching, but they see the other things that we put out that are free as more valuable because they made the commitment whenever they started with us to make the commitment to grow their business. So as soon as they put down money, and as soon as your clients put down money, even the free content you put out, they will consume and act on. And if they don't, that's okay. Like they'll obviously get the stuff on the inside. But here's you have to understand that in the modern world, nothing happens unless someone pays, right? Like you're not working on a computer that you got for free. You went to school and paid money to go to school. You didn't learn how to become an expert world-class practitioner by watching free YouTube videos. And listen, I appreciate you for watching these videos or listening to the podcast, but the reality is you're most likely not doing anything with this stuff. And the reason for that is because you're paying with your time and you think that your time is more expensive or less expensive than your money. But successful people understand that their time is the most expensive thing. You can always make more money. You can't make more time. So simply by investing and making the commitments in the direction of your bigger future, you will be way more effective with the content, even if it's free that you consume. So just kind of backtracking, when I talk about selling is serving, you are not taking anything from anybody. You are giving them the gift of life, the gift of freedom, of peace, of health, of more time with their family, more confidence when they look in the mirror, happiness when they try on clothing that finally fits them. You can't put a price on that. And please understand, I don't care if you're charging $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 for the coaching you provide, you're still undercharging. Because the reality is you can't put a price on the most intangible and most meaningful things. But you have to become very, very good at communicating the value of those so that people who are in a really shit situation are willing to do something about it. So it's your duty. Like when you took the Hippocratic Oath, whether you're a doctor or just a coach, doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Thou shalt not do any harm. However you look at you in the world, you signed up for this because you want to help people. You are not helping anyone unless they pay you money. I want you to understand that. You are not helping anyone with free content. You could post all day long and you are 100% wasting every single minute of your life if you think that's actually making a difference in people's lives. It's making 0 difference in people's lives. I know that's really positive and optimistic here, but I want to hammer this home. You are not doing anything to help anyone until they pay you money. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you will commit to getting better at selling. Because you are not taking anything from anyone, you are giving them their life back. Money is simply an exchange. Okay, you have to understand that. Selling is serving, but nothing happens until they pay you. And I'm sharing this with you from personal experience. When I was a overworked, underpaid personal trainer and nutritionist, doing that for 7 years, 14 to 16 hours a day. I was broke and I felt so awkward about asking people for money. Like, oh, it's $1,500 for us to work together for 12 weeks. It's like, you want to do it on your own for a bit? Totally, I totally get it. Like, I was delusional. I was so focused on me and I wasn't focused on them. So if you're nervous around selling, you have to fix nervous with service and find a way to get into a headspace where you're showing up in a conversation with a prospect and you're like, this person has taken the time out of their day to speak with me. I don't know them. They don't know me. They're a stranger on the internet who's in a lot of pain. And no one just books a call with a stranger for the sake of it. They need my help. I'm going to show up at the highest of my capability to serve them. And if they're a good fit, I'm going to do whatever I can to get them across the line. Because if I let them go, regardless of their situation, I let them down. And that's not why I started this business. That's not why I'm here on this planet. I'm here to transform lives, but I will not chase anyone. But I will show the value I can provide and help them understand why staying stuck is 100 times more expensive than working with me. If you have that kind of mantra or like pre-game ritual, you're on fire in your conversations, right? People can feel your conviction. Like you can even feel like, I get fired up talking about this stuff, right? I'm not saying you have to show up like this in your calls and like overwhelm people. It's like, it's too much almost. You have to believe with every fiber in your body that what you are offering is the cheapest thing since sliced bread. If someone works with us, I don't give a shit if they think it's expensive. I'm like, really? Do you want a house? All right, let's talk about that. Why do you want a house that's 50 times the price? You think that's a good investment? What's the return? How much do you buy it for? What's the market value right now? Oh, it went up like 25%. What if we could help you 500x or 500% your business in the next 6 months? Would that be a better investment? Cool, so let's talk about why you're afraid to make it. That's the conversation I'm having with people. And if you have to get good at this because you have to have so much conviction that you could speak a different language and people will be like, okay, yeah, here you go. Remember, what you say is not important. How you say what you say is what they hear. So you can literally mute this audio, you can mute this video, and you could probably tell just based on my body language that what I'm sharing with you, there's a lot of like energy behind it. And I can be selling hot dogs or ice cream, it doesn't even matter. And you're probably like, whatever he's selling, I'm buying. Potential. Okay? So selling and serving, you have to believe that because you're transforming someone's life. You're not changing a leak in their friggin' plumbing. You're changing their life. You're saving them from early death or despair or whatever it is you're dealing with. Never, ever undervalue the value you bring to someone's life. The second reframe is that your prospects are not buying coaching. Okay, they're not here. They don't wake up one morning like, oh man, I'm gonna go find a coach. Maybe that's a secondary thought, but their primary thought is they're buying certainty of an outcome. So they're not buying coaching, they're buying certainty. So let's say a person comes to you and like many of our clients, they work with migraines as an example. So let's say you have a prospect that falls into your lap to a call and they've had migraines every other day for the past 10 years. If I'm speaking with this client, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm selling this person. I don't give a shit if they have to sell their house. Because in the back of my mind, I know that what I have to offer them is going to transform their life. Now, the certainty, i.e. conviction, right? They want certainty of an outcome. You can't provide certainty of an outcome because you can't control their behaviors. So if someone's like, well, what's the guarantee? You're like, well, I don't know. I mean, you tell me because you're the one who's doing the work. Don't get me wrong. I can guarantee a proven path that's helped hundreds or thousands of other people just like you. But if I give you the roadmap and I stand right beside you and I show you exactly what to do and you are going to be like a donkey and don't move, then you're going to get nothing. So we flip the script here. Please tell me, why do you, Mr. Prospect, believe you have what it takes to become my next success story? Because I'm not going to dance and sell you on why my thing is better. No, I already know that. I don't need to explain anything. He or she who is explaining is losing. You don't need to explain anything. You went to school for 6, 10, 15 years. You've been doing this longer than they've been alive. Or maybe they've had the problem for as long as you've been helping people solve it. In no world should you ever have to explain to a prospect who's been dealing with the problem they cannot solve why your solution is going to work for them. You need to switch the fucking table. My reputation's on the line. If I bring you in as a client with your track record I'm on the hook. I'm at risk because if you don't get results, who does that look bad on? Me. So please tell me why you believe now is going to be different for you. Why all of the other things in the past may or may not have worked, but we're not passing go until you tell me that you have what it takes to show up and follow the plan, because I can promise you this works, but only if you work it. So like you can tell, like again, like I'm coming, it's less about the words coming out of my mouth, and you may be jotting this stuff down because there's some good stuff in there, but it's the conviction. It's the certainty. It's how you say what you say. You have to care so much about the prospect that they don't even listen to what you're saying. They are just like, holy shit, this person really cares about me. That's it. When you have certainty without care, it's just cockiness and it's arrogance. And they're like, this guy's a dick. But when you have certainty and care, that's called compassion. And in case you haven't noticed, my version of compassion is kind of like this. I'm not like, here's a tissue, tell me your stories. I don't give a shit about your stories. I know your story is shit because you're here. Do you want to do something about it, or do you want to stay where you are? I am willing to have the hard conversation because whoever I'm speaking to is in a pattern that's not serving them. I'm the type of person who thinks about it. I don't make decisions on the spot. I'm going to go talk with my wife. We're going to be away for, I'm like, fuck off. You're scared out of your pants. You either know this is going to work and you're afraid, or you don't want to do this. Which one is it? Let's save each other the time. So your certainty is everything, right? Like, and that's why people ask me, like, Yuri, like, does this niche work? I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what fucking niche you're selling. Sorry about the language here. I'm obviously getting a lot, heated up here. Does this do you have clients who do well in this niche? I'm like, yeah, we have clients who do well in this niche, and we have clients who don't do well in this niche. Do you know what the difference is? The clients. If you show up on a call and you're like, yeah, so the price for us to work together is it's $2,000. But hold on, but we have payment plans if that's too much for you. Because can you imagine? It's like, who the fuck am I talking to here? Right? That is weak energy. There's zero certainty. And this is what I'm looking for. When I'm observing conversations, like if it's on Zoom or if I'm listening to someone, I'm looking for the certainty. And it doesn't have to come across as like abrasive and shouting. And then it doesn't have to be any of that stuff. You have to do you. You don't do me. You don't do anyone else. You do you. But whatever version of you is, it needs to be backed by unwavering, delusional conviction. The best salespeople in the world, sure, they probably know what to say. Right? They probably know what to say. And if they don't, guess what? They're obsessed and they are always studying and practicing so they never get caught twice in the same situation. But behind all of that is just this unwavering conviction. It's unwavering. If you read the book Influence by Robert Cialdini, he talks about this. And I can't remember the exact scenario, but there was a cult living in the Amazon, kind of like a modern, not like indigenous Indians, but like, this cult leader had brought like 100 and 150 people into this off the grid type of tribe. And I believe the story was he was so convicted around what he was doing that he had everyone drink like this special berry or a drink or whatever, and they all died. They all died. Every single one of them died. And this is an example of having this blind faith and conviction. Now, the difference here is that what you're doing is not killing people, okay? But you have to there's a lot to learn from a lot of these crazy leaders. Most very successful leaders, whether they're cults, businesses, leaders in the world, they're polarizing, right? You know what they stand for. They're not vanilla. Like, no one enjoys vanilla. I mean, maybe if you do French vanilla, it's cool, whatever. I'm not going to judge. But if you want to enroll more clients, raise your conviction, raise your certainty. That's the second thing. People do not buy coaching, they buy certainty. All right, and the third mindset shift, or the third reframe, you've probably picked it up already in this conversation, because it's not what you say. It's about how you say it. How you say what you say is what you say. There needs to be congruence between your body language and what comes out of your mouth. So if I'm like really happy, like all this stuff, and I'm like, you're never going to make it work here. This is going to be totally hard. Like, there's a real interesting disconnect there, right? So you can't fake authenticity. Like, we are so good as humans to pick up on these subtle little cues that you just have to be real. And if you don't believe with 100% certainty that you can help someone, they're going to sense that. They're going to sense that. I've been doing this for 20 years. And when you've done something for this long, just like you have for what you do, you become very good at recognizing patterns. And when I'm reviewing a sales call for one of our clients, as an example, or even our own teams, I know in the first 10 seconds if this person's going to enroll. I know even before the call if they're going to enroll. If they don't respond to a confirmation text, ciao. If they don't put their last name in, ciao. If they're not willing to turn on video, ciao. Why? What are you afraid of? You're dipping your toe in the water? See you later. So, how you say what you say. You get someone who comes on Zoom with you and they're laying on their couch, holding their phone like this, and their cat is on their chest, or they're busy in the kitchen baking bread, or they're going through McDonald's drive-thru as they're speaking to you. I share this stuff because I've seen this stuff happen. Are you fucking crazy? Like, are you kidding me? You're talking about a major health condition that you want solved. And this is how you show up on video? Are you like, oh, I have a pretty good idea of why you're suffering with this. Yeah, it sucks. But how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're showing up in the first 5 or 10 seconds of a call like this, man, I can only imagine what the rest of your life and your house looks like. It's probably a friggin' disaster. So, why I say how you say what you say is more important than what you say is because it's the same thing with your prospects. When you ask the question like, so it's not like, let me be honest with you, like to achieve what you're looking to achieve it's going to be tricky. It's going to be challenging, right? You've not done this before. There's going to be some hard work involved. Are you down for that? Can you commit to 1 hour a day to follow a proven plan to actually fix this once and for all? And they're like, yeah. Or, I think so. Those are not yeses. Those are not yeses. Someone's like this? No. Okay? I'm telling you, the conversations where you think everything is peaches and roses are the most dangerous conversations. They're like stealth snipers. These are people pleasers. They're trying to be nice because they can't be honest. Yeah, this sounds, like it's exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, okay. You have to pick up on this stuff. Is this do you believe that based on what I've shown you here, this is the right fit for helping you solve X, Y, and Z? Yeah, I think so. You don't move on before you address that. You think so? Tell me more. If they're not sold on your process, they're not going to be sold on your price. Any price is too expensive if they're not sold on the process. If they don't believe it's going to help them, forget about it. So not only do you have to be very aware of how you speak and how you are speaking the words, you have to be even more so aware of how your prospects are responding and how they're speaking. Because a lot of people talk a big game until they have to put down a bit of money. And then they're like, no, this sounds great. It's everything I've been looking for. And then they ghost you, right? They're not willing to tell you the truth. So just be like, hey, cool, awesome. Why don't we just spare each other the time? Like, do you have the money or not? If you do you want to do this? Do you believe it's going to help you? Just tell them, I don't give a shit. I've got callous. You can't affect me. It's all good. All I'm trying to do here is get to the truth. I have a solution for a problem you can't solve. Do you actually want to solve it? Yes. Cool. All right. So what don't you believe what I'm doing here that's going to help you get there? No, I really do believe. No, you don't. Because if you did, I'd have your credit card and we'd be going forward. So what's holding you back? What are you most afraid of happening if you did this that you don't think would be an issue next week after you think about it? Well, everyone's just afraid. They're all afraid, okay? But anyways, it's not about blaming them for that. It's about understanding it. It's like, hey, you have to be compassionate. This is a stranger. He doesn't even know you. Now they're going to drop several $1,000s, sight unseen, taking your word that they're going to get helped. If you think about it, it's kind of crazy. But that's why you have to be so good at this. Because otherwise, they're never going to pay you and they're never going to get helped. This is why this company exists. This is why Healthpreneur exists, okay? Because there are so many amazing health practitioners like you, and there's this huge gap of millions of people that don't know you, and they're suffering. And all we're trying to do here is help you become better so you can get in front of them and build the bond so you can help them. That's it. That's the mission. That's the vision. You know, we're going to help 1 billion people at some point, but we're only going to get there by helping practitioners like you get better, right? Again, I'm just going to wrap all this up by reframing. It's not, you're not taking advantage of anyone. You're not putting them out of money. You're changing their life. And please do the work internally. I had to for sure. Everyone does. Do the work so you get to a point where with every fiber of your being, you know that the right person who comes across your stuff and you have the opportunity to speak with them, there's no way they're getting off the phone. There's no way they're getting off that call without them giving you a credit card. Not because you're a douchebag and they're going to take their money and run. No, because you care. And you have to help them understand that. And we do that by how we say what we say. They will pick up on it subconsciously. They will feel your energy. Sales is a transfer of energy and conviction, right? He or she who cares most wins. If they care more about their problem, their story, they win. If you care about them more than they do about their nonsense, you win. And you only win by them enrolling, because them enrolling means they get better. So it's a win-win. So if you've enjoyed this and you like this kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button. We've got lots of other videos to help you get better at getting clients and growing a coaching business online that's going to transform more lives. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Most health professionals are underpaid, not because they're not good enough, but because of the 4 pricing mistakes I'm about to share with you in this video. So if you want to earn what you believe you deserve, then watch this and let's figure out how.